Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I will be talking about what I plan to use in 2026. So for 2025, I used two blank Sterling ink notebooks. I used the B6 for the beginning of the year, and in July I started using the A5. And I keep all of my trackers and monthly calendars, everything. It's all in one notebook. And so for 2026, I was planning on separating my planner from my journaling. So I filled this little notebook up. It's a B6 from Sterling Ink. It's the plain notebook. And I filled it up with weeklies and trackers, and you'll see, I'll go through every single page. And then I'm going to split my journaling into two half-year notebooks where I'll also include some yearly collections. And this one's already set up, so I'll show you this one. And then I also have the second notebook for the second half of the year, which I won't set up until I'm sure I love this. So maybe closer to like May or June is when I'll start setting this one up. But there's not a lot to do, so it shouldn't take me more than like a day, maybe. So the B6 is going to have all of my planning. So the first layout that I put in here was the future log, and I just did it with marker and a ruler. And here's where I'll put in all like future releases or future appointments, the future. And then I usually always have like a little calendar of the current year. So this will be 2026. And then this is my band stuff layout. And this is where I keep track of all of my husband's practices and shows that he has. He's in 2.5 cover bands. And if I don't have this calendar, I don't know when we're able to do anything. Just kidding. He does prioritize like us. So if I say, please keep this weekend open, he will. So, but I like to have it all here so I can see it and like not ask, hey, do you have a show tomorrow or whatever, you know. We also have a calendar in the kitchen, but whatever. And so I'll usually circle whatever date he's not available and then write down why he's not available, like if it's a show or whatever. So this I call my 2026 highlights and events. And I had the same type of layout in my 2025, and I usually wrote like news, events, highlights, trips we go on. So that's pretty self-explanatory, I guess. And then here is sort of a budget tracker, kinda, but I'll keep track of all our deposits and then our monthly payments. And then this is my spending tracker. It's pretty simple. I'll just list anything I buy online for me, usually, just to make sure I'm not going overboard. And I did this in my current planner and I love it. So I'm doing it again for 2026. And pretty easy. And then this is a spot. Ooh, what happened here? This is a spot for gift ideas. So like ideas for my son's birthday or whatever, gift ideas. And then I have this. I've had this in like the last 3 planners I've had. This is my Elf on the Shelf ideas and book advent calendar. So I do an advent calendar of books for my now 12-year-old. And I've done it for the last 2 years. So I'm going to do it again this year. And I've already purchased all the books. I take advantage of the Target sales and the Amazon sales. And yeah, I'm set. I've already got 25 books for him. Well, a couple are pre-orders, so I'll get those in the next few weeks. Anyway, this is blank. I don't know what I'm going to do there. I just left it blank. But this is my weather tracker. And I'm just going to keep track of the weather just to look at. It just looks, I don't know. It's cool. And then these are my yearly trackers. I did have these in my 2025, but it's just half year in each book. So I keep track of how many times I charge my Kindle, how many hours a day I use my phone. So I'll just write the hours in the little boxes. How much we get takeout and how much Starbucks I get. So I keep track of all that. And then this is my cleaning, that should say tracker, but it says cleaning time, whatever. So I'll just keep track of like the things I clean, like when I wash, I don't know, the porch, or when I do laundry, I'll usually circle laundry up here so I know how often I do it. But toilets, bathroom floors, I just list it all there. And then this is the Sparky tracker. So this is where I keep track of dog baths, flea meds, how often I buy him food, and how often he has his flare-ups. I keep track of that here. That's pretty helpful. And I'm glad that I'm doing the whole year thing, because when I have the half year, like, I forget what we did the first part of the year. So it's like, I know he had a flare-up in May, but I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that's the Sparky tracker. And then this is dad stuff. So my dad had a stroke 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, and he lives next door. So this is for me to just keep track of, like, either visits, things we talk about, calls, just for me. It's personal. So I keep track. This is his spot where I keep track of dad stuff. And then this is Nash stuff, which is my 12-year-old. And this is where I keep track of anything that has to do with him. I usually have a little calendar here for, like, showers, but I think I'm just going to circle the number here. What is his shower day, and then friend time and all that stuff, and keep track of that. So I have the whole year. And then I have Neil stuff, which is my husband. And then here I keep track of, like, the days I get up at 4 a.m. to make him breakfast and pack his lunch, and then whatever, haircuts, whatever he has going on, I usually write here. And then this is the video game section. So I keep track of how often he plays video games, even though he's really good at it. Like, he's not the stay up all night video gamer. He makes time for me. So yeah. Anyway, the whole year. And then this next one is going to be really cheesy, but I also keep track of, like, the hours he's away from me. Okay. So, like, I write down when he leaves for work and when he comes back, or when he leaves for a show and when he comes back. And it's kind of creepy, I know, but I like to see, like, I want to make sure we're making the most of our time together, because he is gone a lot. Anyway, whole year. And then this is a love stuff, self-explanatory love stuff. Got to keep track of that stuff. And then this is my health stuff. So, like, here I'll circle, like, my showers. This is workouts, skincare, vitamins. And then this is my period tracker. So I'll use these to track my period. And I'll probably write, like, my weight at the beginning of every month there. But I like this because I'm able to look back and say, oh, if I notice a pattern, like, oh, I've had a headache for, like, 3 days or whatever. So this has been really helpful for me, and I had it in the last couple of journals. And then this is how much I sleep or don't. So I'll write down when I wake up, when I go to sleep, and how many hours I slept. And then the other one, and then this is my reading tracker. So here I'll write down the title of the book, and then I'll highlight every day that I read it, that same color, and then I'll just keep doing that. And then I have total books read, total pages, how many were Kindle, ARCs, physical copies, and then new books that I got, new books for my son. Then my Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and X social number totals for the beginning of every month. And then 2 pages for that. And then here I'll write down all the books I buy that for the month. So, like, how many books I buy in January, which ones, I'll list them there so I know what was new. And then here I'll keep track of my ARC requests and the ARCs I actually do get, and whether I reviewed them. And then this is where I'll write down my physical TBR. I haven't done it yet because we've got, 2-3 months left in the year, so I'm hoping to knock some out. I'm currently reading Saving Six, and that's been on my shelf for years, but I'm working through it, so I'll fill this out later. And then this is my top book of the year thingy. So I'm doing this for the first time this year, so I wanted to do it again next year. And then here we are at the weeklies, and this is kind of how I'm going to do my weeklies. I have not done any more because I'm not sure if this is, I don't want to change my mind. I don't want to do it all the same and then change my mind. So I'm thinking that I'm going to do, like, whatever event is happening this day, and then just my to-dos, which will probably be, like, this big, and then, like, our meals, so whatever we eat. And then I kept Saturday and Sunday short because I don't really have much to do on the weekends. So yeah, this might change. It might stay the same. I don't know. So it shouldn't take this many pages. So I'm planning to have at least 100 pages blank after the weeklies to keep track of the books I read, like to do how long they took me to read, and because right now I'm keeping it in my book journal, and it's kind of like this, but I'm just going to do like one book, one whole page. I've had this since 2021, or 2020 actually. So I want to keep it all in here, and I'll have, hopefully by the end of the year, 100 pages of books I've read that year. Okay, so that's my B6. So the A5s are kind of going to look like half the year daily journal pages. And I don't know how I'm going to decorate those. Those will always probably be different. But in the beginning, I'll have an index, kind of like over here. And I'll just write down like events that I wrote about that I could just quickly go find. So that's just for half the year, January through June. And then this is my bookshelf where I'm going to put all the little books I read, little pictures of the books. And I used my Sticky Club stickers, which are so cute. And then this is where I'm going to keep track of all the movies and TV shows I watch. So I'll print the small pictures and paste it all here for the first half of the year. And then, so I've done this, I don't know if you've seen it, but I've done this picture a day in 2025, and I absolutely love it. And I wouldn't have enough room to keep it in the B6. So I'm doing half a year in the A5s. And this one is going to be picture of the day. So any picture that I take of like something I enjoyed, something I'm grateful for, I'm going to put here, or something we did. And I have enough for 6 months. And then this one is going to be, what was it? Oh, selfies. Selfies of myself. But actually it's going to be selfies, or is it ussies, of me and my son. Because what I have also done with him every night this year is take a picture of his face. So I have his whole face. But we've gotten into the habit where like I'll take his picture and then we'll turn the camera around and take a picture of us together. So I'm like, maybe I should have a spot for those because those are also super cute. And yeah, I'm tired in most of them, but they're still super cute. So that's going to be this spot. And then we get to his face spot. So these will all be his face for 6 months. And then May, June. This is going to be, okay, so I always try to find photo a day Instagram challenges, and I don't keep up with them. I always tell myself I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a picture every day, and I don't keep up with it. So I thought that if I had like a physical reason to keep up with it, then maybe I will. So I'm going to either like write down each challenge on the top and then paste the picture if I actually do it or not. And we'll see how that turns out. So I have all 6 months for that. And then here is where I'll write down journaling prompts. And there's a couple, oh no, I shook the camera, sorry. There's a couple Instagram pages that I follow that do these, and I love them. So I'm going to choose a couple and then write them all out. Like this will be writing, it won't be picture. So if I want to see what I journaled in, I don't know, Tuesday, January 20th, I'll be like, oh yeah, and then I'll go find it. So all the way to June, and that's it. And I'm thinking that this is all going to be journaling pages, and there's like maybe 10 extra pages. So I'm thinking that I'll probably use like a cover page for like the month, like January, and just have like, I don't know, January snapshot or music I'm enjoying or whatever. And every day is a blank page. And maybe I'll have like an extra page for holidays where I need to write more or whatever. So the other one will hopefully look like this as well, and hopefully this will work out. We'll see. I tend to change a lot during the year. This has been the most consistent though, like this one and the B6. I have not repeated this because usually like I'll do a certain thing, and then like in March I'll be like, I don't like this anymore, and then I'll order another notebook or a different size and then just transfer all the pages that I've already written, and it's crazy. But I did not do that this year, and I'm really proud of myself for that. And which is why I want to continue and try this out. And you will definitely see videos of me setting up my daily journaling and probably my weeklies. And yeah, yay. Thanks for watching. Bye.